Hello guys. Welcome to Diablo the Primordial. This video is the second part of reactions to Rimuru's disappearance. So if you have not watched the first part, then please watch it. The link is in the description. And please check out my second channel Top Anime Sensei for the light novel of Tensura. So without any further delay, let's start. But before we start, please like, subscribe and press the bell icon so you don't miss the updates. She explained the story Diablo had told them. Although Testa herself thought that it was dubious, it was also more or less coherent. Anyway, she remembered what she heard. When she was about to question him, Diablo suddenly teleported after Milam. Even though she found it doubtful, since she had let him get away, she couldn't explain it to the others. Because she feels that she has always talked subjectively, it would only bring confusion to the surroundings if she spread such uncertain information. Testarossa told it as it was, restraining herself from mixing her feelings into it. Silence ruled the control room. Even Gerudo and Gabiru, who should have been tired due to the combat during the day, didn't open their mouths as they had serious expressions. Kumara had a dreadful pale face and was trembling. Benimaru strongly grasped his fist while suppressing his anger. Ramirez looked like she was about to cry while facing toward the floor. It might be a good thing that Xian, who has the shortest temper of them all, was absent at this time. In such a situation, if I had come along, such a thing wouldn't have. The one who is usually calm, Soy, who would never become enraged in any situation, was in anger. Testarossa looked down as she agreed with Soy words. That way of thinking is common. She herself was feeling anguish as she was unable to do anything. Therefore, she can't rebut Soy words. She only thought deeply about her own powerlessness. At that time, Zijin, who had crossed his arms and kept silent, moved. He stood up. Fools! What are you all pointlessly worried about? Rimuru-sama cannot possibly be dead. Oh Testarossa, do you think that Diablo is a fighter whose power would drop by such a degree only because he lost half his body? Along those lines, is he a fool who would give up on avenging his master? Why don't you think that there is some kind of reason? Too childish. Why don't you notice that he is trying to deceive us? He declared as such towards those in the room. And, seeing each of their reactions, he continued talking. Think about it carefully, then feel it. Even now we are still receiving Rimuru-sama's divine protection. The connection has been interrupted, but that doesn't mean it has disappeared. You should all calm down and deeply feel for it. All of you should be able to understand that we are being tested by Rimuru-sama. We are not weak, to the degree that we need to depend on Rimuru-sama for everything. In spite of that, if someone says that he can't do anything if Rimuru-sama is gone, such a weak individual should just die. Am I wrong, Benimaru Dono? Saying all of that in one breath, Zijin waited for Benimaru's answer. Testarossa, who had thought what Zijin had said, had a slight smile sprout on her lips. It was not only Testarossa who felt that way, everyone in the room agreed to Zijin's words. That's right, there must be some kind of reason for Rimuru-sama to disappear. It's no good for us to keep relying on him all the time. Certainly, we have relied on Rimuru-sama far too much. I think we are always entrusting everything to that personage. That's right, even I became uneasy just because Rimuru-sama is not here. In such a state, we would be laughed at by Rimuru-sama. That's right. Well, since I always believed in Rimuru, I was absolutely not worried at all. Yes, for Rimuru-sama to be defeated, that's impossible. Vigor returned to the room immediately. Benimaru also agreed as he saw the situation. Certainly, we all have been too dependent on the great demon lord, Rimuru. If he thought back, it had been that way since they first met. For it to be pointed out by the newcomer, Zijin, Benimaru has failed as Rimuru's retainer. Sorry, Zijin. It is certainly as you said, we can still fight even if Rimuru-sama is not here. Rather than that, I think we should quickly conquer this world and give it to Rimuru-sama once he returns. Surely, we are not such mere children that we cannot do anything without Rimuru-sama. Alright, we shall quickly end this war and then give this world to Rimuru-sama. Benimaru declared so. Whilst agreeing to it, good grief. For me, of all other people, to lose my composure. As someone who governs the shadows, I still have a long way to go. Thank you, Zijin. Thanks to you, I have regained my calm. Soy nods while expressing his gratitude to Zijin. Don't worry about it. I will return to my position. Benimaru Dono, leave the labyrinth to me, you can go on the attack at ease. I swear that I will certainly protect Rimuru-sama and the people taking refuge within the labyrinth until the end." Benimaru nodded to Zijin's words. "Yes, that's right. They have the strongest guardian, that is Zijin, for their defense. There is nothing to be afraid of." And so, Tempest's executives began to move. Wiping out the anxiety from before, their expressions are filled with power. And their determination shown as they wish for their strength be recognized by their master, the great demon lord Rimuru. Right now, they have reached the moment where they shall take flight from the protection of the great demon lord. The second day of the Great War. El Dorado, the domain ruled by demon lord Leon Cromwell. One of the four fiends of the heaven commanders, Kigali, began to move. After the Walpurgis ended, each of the demon lords returned to their own territory in order to prepare for the Great War. The Black Knight Claude also returned to Leon. After parting with Chloe, it took a while to return due to his caution towards Yuki's notice. Even if he took quite a while, from Claude's point of view, it was very necessary for him to be extremely cautious. He returned and requested an audience with Leon. Obviously, Claude believed that the audience would take quite a while to take place, since there was a possibility that he is still brainwashed. However, Claude was guided straight before Leon. As such, he explained all of the events that happened up till now. With the clone Shadow Knight left behind, he had continued to grasp the situation. In other words, he knows about the Crimson Purge, by the Scorched Dragon, Velgrand, Yuki usurping the ultimate skilled Justice Lord Michael from Rudra, as well as the discord between Demon Lord Rimuru and Yuki. He was able to grasp everything through his Shadow Knight. His Shadow Knight was destroyed afterwards due to contact with the Angel of Armageddon that Rudra activated. But it could be said that he had succeeded in gathering enough information. For Claude, his utmost priority was to bring his intel to his master Leon, whom he has pledged his allegiance to, even at the risk of his life. And his wish came true. Leon has now learned it all. Well done. 2 words. It's a disappointing response. However, for Claude, those words were priceless. Those words are more than I deserve. Claude became overwhelmed with emotion. However, he understood that it is not the time to be immersed in emotion. And that is the same for Leon too. The intel from Claude was more detailed than what Demon Lord Rimuru had explained at the Walpurgis. Does this mean Demon Lord Rimuru is trying to steal the march over the other Demon Lords? Leon couldn't throw away such a doubt, but he judged that that was not the whole truth. There was no contradiction between Rimuru's and Claude's information. His doubt about the exaggeration of the enemy forces was cleared up. If that's the case, it can be said that the enemy has gigantic war potential. Claude, do you think that we can oppose them right now? The Black Knight Claude is the strongest knight among Leon's subordinates, so he sensed some value in Claude's opinion. I'm afraid. I need to express my honest thoughts. As the difference in the number of this side and that side is great, perhaps, at best we can oppose an army of 50,000 angels assuming we devote ourselves to defense. Not to mention, if we tried to attack outside the city barrier, defeat may very well be inevitable. What do you mean, Claude Dono, we would be defeated? We are Leon-sama's strongest knights, as if we would be beaten by the angels. Each leader of the Magic Knights got angry by Claude's remark. But, Leon suppressed them. Leon closed his eyes and began thinking. He thought that Claude's statement was correct. Even if he compared it simply based on the war potential, aside from the Knight Leader class who are on Pseudo-Demon Lord class, the best that the normal knights could do would be fight against several angels. Perhaps the angels who absorbed the people of the mixed corps that Claude affiliated with before may have fighting power which exceed A rank. If the angel army, which only consists of such special individuals came, then his side would have the lesser war potential and numbers. He could agree to the prediction, defeat would be inevitable. Do I have no choice but to strengthen the barrier and go out and attack myself? But, that's a really bad move. Leon is thinking. He figured that the chance of victory was low in the case that his subordinates clashed with Kigali. After all, she seems to have fused with an angel of Seraphim class who has energy rivaling that of an awakened demon lord. If it's Kigali, who was the former demon lord Kazarium who had lived for several hundred years, it'd be no wonder even if she obtained the ability that can rival an awakened demon lord. Perhaps, there's a possibility that she is better than that, or so Leon thinks. In that case, there's no other choice but for him to fight. But in that case, the preparation against the angel army itself is tough, right? That is the problem. If he goes to fight by himself, Leon believes that he wouldn't get defeated even if his opponent is Kigali. but at the same time he predicted that Claude and co wouldn't be able to oppose the Angel army. Not to mention, in the case that his fight with Kigali dragged on, there is a possibility that he would get attacked from the rear by the Angel army after they destroyed his country. It wouldn't be a problem if he is able to deal with Kigali quickly, but that would be an optimistic outlook. After all, Kigali knows of Leon's trump card, Ultimate Skill Purity Lord Metatron. It was a big mistake for Leon to let Kigali and Yuki escape when he fought them before. The tab now falls on Leon. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you guys have not watched my earlier videos, then please watch them. The links are in the description. And please check out my other channel Top Anime Sensei for the light novel of Tensura. And don't forget to like, subscribe and press the bell icon so you don't miss the updates.